This is the brother Lamadia, giving all praises and glory to Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shah, by Hashem Rakar Kwadash. Double honors to the eldest apostles of Great Millstone, and blessings to the believers of Yahweh Shah. Today is March 10th, and back March 8th was International Women's Day. And the whole month of March is International Women's Month. And the elites of Esau have this hidden motive to elevate women so that way they can have total access and total control of the population. Because now when you elevate women, what come out of that is disruption and order, and the natural order of things, how the Most High created it. And the Most High created the men to be the head of the family, whereas in America they tell you that the woman is the head of the family. And when you watch different television shows, they always depict that the woman being the head of the family, or she's the one that make the decision and guide the house, which that's out of order and that's out of pocket. Then always depict the man being the dumb one, or he's doing stupid things, or they'll show you two males with buckets over their head, ramming heads against each other, and they will say boys will be boys. So that's what you call social engineering. And Esau's motive is to break up the home. Because once you break up the home, what comes out of that is easier access to the minds of the children. Because now when you don't have the father there, and then the mother is absent because she's always working, guess who's raising up the kids? The school system, the TV, the phone, the tablet. And when these kids are watching shows on a tablet or playing games on a tablet, movies, whatever the case may be, they're being socially engineered to accept certain ideology that's against nature. Whether it is homosexuality, or the woman is the head of the family, or the males to be effeminate. And Esau doesn't do things because he feels things are right. He'll tell you his motive is to liberalize the oppression of woman, but he doesn't believe in that. He has interior motives behind that, because that's just how the devil operates. He actually strategically attacking the tribes. When Esau fund black women colleges, it's not so they can receive great education and get a good paying job and be independent. It's so that she doesn't reproduce. Because the longer she's in school, the chances of her having a healthy relationship is real low. And by the time she completes going to school, she's already pretty much in her 30s. And then her dating and choosing of men is going to be based off how much she is making. And based off that, she'll be chasing around and looking for a man that does not exist, or the type of man she's looking for doesn't exist. And if the man do exist, guarantee he wouldn't want her ass. But this is all Esau's agenda. He put the schools so that they don't um they don't marry. She don't have a husband. She don't have any kids. And then she's making all this money, but she's single. She got a nice house, but she's alone. And another motive behind the colleges is that Esau don't want the men to have ownership. They'll let the men go to school so they have a entry level position for somebody else's company. It would never be something that he owned and could pass down to his sons, and their sons could pass down to their sons. Cause that's what Esau do. Esau look for ownership, and he passed it down. Now, when we go back to the book of Genesis, Esau was that serpent in the garden. Because when we go to Genesis, the serpent was an actual reptile. It was actual a man with a serpent or snake mentality. Now, this is Genesis 3:1. Now, the serpent was more subtle than any beast of the field. Meaning, by the word subtle, other words, he was very calculative, which the Lord Yahweh had made. And he said unto the woman, yea, have the Most High said, ye shall not eat of every tree of the garden? And the woman said unto the serpent, we may eat of the fruit of the trees of the garden, but the fruit of the tree which is in the midst of the garden, the Most High have said, ye shall not eat of it, neither shall ye touch it, lest ye die. And that fruit is referencing towards them different philosophies, which those philosophies was falsehood, which was lies. And it verse 4, and says, and the serpent said unto the woman, ye shall not surely die, for the Most High do know that in the day ye eat thereof, then your eyes shall be open, and ye shall be as gods, knowing good and evil. Now, why did the serpent come to the woman rather than Adam? Because he understood that the woman was more gullible than a man. And the woman consciously would fall for the deceit rather than Adam. So it says, for the Most High read that, verse 6, and when the woman saw that the tree was good for food, and that it was pleasant to the eyes, and a tree to be desired to make one wise. See, that right there tells you that it wasn't an actual fruit, that it was a philosophy, because it says, and the tree to be desired to make one wise. So he was offering her to be wise, or to be pretty much wiser than Adam. And will be today modern day feminism, because the serpent was offering her wisdom and to break free from the natural order of things, and her being the wise one, because pretty much she figured if she wiser than Adam can't tell her nothing. And pretty much is what's taking place today. Esau is giving woman that same fruit, which is he's telling them they could be wise, and they could be independent, and they don't need a man. And I'm gonna read on, and it says, and she took of the fruit thereof and did eat, and gave it also unto her husband with her, and he did eat. So now this is the book of Hosea, chapter 10, verse 3. You have plowed wickedness. You have reaped iniquity. You have eaten the fruit of lies. And that's what Eve ate. The fruit that she ate was lies. And that's what's going on right now with this feminism thing that's taking place, is the fruit of lies that the women of the tribes are eating or they snacking on. And I read on, it says, because thou didst trust in the way and the multitude of thy mighty men. Now let's go to Jeremiah 31 and 22. How long wilt thou go about, O thy backsliding daughter? For the Lord hath created a new thing in the earth. A woman should compass a man. And that's what's taking place right now. Women are compassing men. Why is that? Because Esau have empowered them. And what came out of an empowerment of woman? Wickedness. This is why we see so much evil in the earth, because the empowerment of evil, the empowerment of woman. Because when it comes to men, men are disciplined, and men will nip things in the butt as soon as they see it. Whereas women, they see something that ain't right, they'll just let it be. Because the Most High didn't create women to be judges. And that's another thing why Esau wanted the fathers out of the home. Because a man, he disciplined his son. And if his son was weak, he got on his case. And he toughened his son. But when you take the father, or remove the father out of the home, what comes out of that? When the son is weak, the mother baby him. And he become weak. Now this is Ecclesiastes 25 and 24. Of the woman came the beginning of sin. Going back to the garden, back with Eve and the serpent. So it said, of the woman came the beginning of sin, and through her we all die. Because the Most High is not dealing with women. He's dealing with the men. And when you put a woman in position and power, it brings about more sin. So this is just part 1. And I'll be back with part 2. And again, I want to say all praises and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shah, Ba'ashem, Wakar Kwadash. Shalom.